Welcome, wrestling fans. Welcome to Curtain Jerkin. As always, I'm your host, Jacob Grondy, reporting for the Main Event Marks YouTube channel. You can also check me out on Spotify. As always, however you're hearing my voice, I appreciate it. I just put up the show reviewing SmackDown, Raw, and AEW Rampage, even talking a little UFC. You can check that out. I'm sure it's in the archive. It's probably right under this show. But here we're going to be talking about WWE Elimination Chamber from Perth, Australia. You gotta love these big PLEs, as they call them. Not pay-per-views anymore. They're PLEs. They're these giant arena shows. I mean, think about it. We just did Royal Rumble, and that was in Florida. You know we're gonna have a show in Saudi Arabia that's gonna be a big arena show, stadium show. We're going into WrestleMania, which is 2 stadium shows in one, and we're flying all the way halfway across the world as a WWE collective universe for Perth, Australia. Perth is a funny city because if you look, all the cities in Australia are on their east coast. Sydney, Melbourne, they're all on one side, and then there's just like no man's land, desert, giant island stuff. And then on the west coast, southwest coast, you have Perth. So it's like, no one ever thinks about Australia really in America, and you damn sure don't really think about Perth. But they're having a giant show. I'm excited about it, and I'm going to be giving you guys my predictions here. My predictions is this show is going to fucking slap. I'm waking up at 5 a.m. I'm already used to waking up at 5 a.m. because of New Japan, and Okada's last match is going to be on this same time. So I'm going to be waking up, I'm going to have my cup of coffee, and I'm going to be watching WWE Elimination Chamber from Perth early in the morning, the wee hours of the morning here in North Carolina, and then I'm going to watch Okada's last match, and I'm going to be a happy wrestling mark. But let's break down every single match. There's only 4. There's only 4 at Royal Rumble, and that was a solid show, a solid spectacle. These shows aren't really work rate shows. They're spectacle shows. They're fireworks. They're flyovers. They're pyro entrances. And we're going to get to that in a little bit. There's going to be a lot of entrances for these Elimination Chamber matches, but we have some matches prior. We have the Judgment Day, Finn Balor and Damian Priest, the champions of Raw and SmackDown, undisputed WWE Tag Team Champions, going up against New Catch Republic, I guess that's their name, Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate. You gotta love the story here. Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate, they were, coming up through the indies, and then they did NXT UK, and then they did NXT, and now they're on SmackDown. I feel like I've been watching these. They've been on WWE programming for like literally 6-7 years now, and they're finally on SmackDown as mainstays. And I mean, they've been kind of strapping the rocket to them. They beat DIY. I was surprised about that. And I feel like Judgment Day, they don't really need these tag team championships. I feel like you want Priest to kind of hint at cashing in during this WrestleMania season. You can kind of use Finn Balor and Dominic Mysterio to do some other shit. I don't really think you need these tag team titles on Judgment Day anymore. And I think to make this show big, you're going to put the tag team championships, the undisputed tag team championships, on Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate. They're going to hoist them in the air in Perth. This is going to be a big fucking deal for all involved. That's what I'm predicting here. New tag team champions, Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate. And I'm going to give you a how. I think R-Truth is going to do some shit. R-Truth is going to come out and cost them. And then I think you then have a big match between R-Truth and Damian Priest to main event Raw. And then maybe I don't know where you go from there. You then maybe can do R-Truth versus Dominic Mysterio in like a comedy match at WrestleMania or something. But you get Damian Priest and R-Truth away from each other. You create a solid tag division for WrestleMania, and that's where I kind of see it going. I see new champs in Perth. And then we have the Women's Elimination Chamber match for the Women's World Championship match at WrestleMania. Becky Lynch, Bianca Belair, Liv Morgan, Tiffany Stratton, Naomi, Raquel Rodriguez. So I think it's going to go on Becky Lynch. I think I said this as soon as they did the draft, that you were pretty much solidifying a collision course between Becky Lynch and Rhea Ripley at WrestleMania, because those were the two standouts on the Raw women's roster. And they had Becky Lynch wrestle Trish Stratus, then go to NXT and hold the NXT women's title. Then they brought her back, and then they had her wrestle Nia Jax. And all that stuff was just pretty much stalling and hoping you forgot that this match was obviously going to happen. And then you had Rhea Ripley. She barely even was in the women's division, holding the women's title for almost a year now, winning it at WrestleMania. She was, in the Judgment Day, the faction that pretty much ran Raw for a year. So she was over here, and now it's WrestleMania season, so they're gonna come together. So Becky Lynch is winning. Bianca Belair, she was a huge part of last year's WrestleMania, and I think she might be the odd woman out here at this year's WrestleMania. We'll have to see what happens. But they might set something up here against her and Tiffany Stratton for WrestleMania. These ladies are both Performance Center standouts. They're both athletic as hell. You can put them out there in the curtain jerker of night 2, and they're going to tear the house down. Liv Morgan, she's fresh off of, coming back from getting arrested, so I don't really think they trust her with a big spot right now. Naomi's fresh off of coming back from Royal Rumble, and Raquel Rodriguez is fresh off of coming back. So you have 3 ladies who are just coming back. They're just happy to be here. You're going to set up Bianca Belair and Tiffany Stratton, in my opinion. I don't know what's going to happen. And then Becky Lynch is going to win the whole damn thing. Rhea Ripley versus Nia Jax. I don't care that Nia Jax just came back. I don't care that Nia Jax is The Rock's cousin, or however she's affiliated with that family. I don't care about Nia Jax at all. She is there to be a big body that Perth, Australia can mark out for, because Rhea Ripley, the home country hero, is going to come and slam Nia Jax's big ass, and the whole crowd's going to go nuts, as this match is only going to last about 3 to 5 minutes, and we're going to have the culmination of Rhea Ripley. And then maybe we get a stare down between Becky Lynch and Rhea Ripley, because we've all known that that's where they're going to go for WrestleMania for almost a year now. So I'm going to go with Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate winning the Tag Team Championship, Becky Lynch winning the Elimination Chamber, and then Rhea Ripley defending her title against Nia Jax. And there's only one match left. That is the Men's Elimination Chamber for a World Heavyweight Championship match at WrestleMania. Drew McIntyre, Randy Orton, Bobby Lashley, LA Knight, Kevin Owens, and Logan Paul. Okay, so Bobby Lashley is tied in with this Karrion Kross thing. That seems to be some kind of faction thing. So I don't see him winning this thing. I'd see LA Knight and Logan Paul having a match for the U.S. Championship at WrestleMania. LA Knight winning the U.S. Championship at WrestleMania, but I'm predicting months ahead at this point. So there's going to be something that happens where Logan Paul and LA Knight go at it. There's going to be something where Randy Orton and Kevin Owens go at it. I see that as a big WrestleMania match here. So that only leaves one man, Drew McIntyre. I think they're going to have Drew McIntyre versus Seth Rollins. You got the guy who won the title at WrestleMania 36 in front of no fans because it was during the pandemic. Lost the title when there were some fans in Tampa at WrestleMania 37. And then ever since then, he's been getting screwed out of championship opportunities, leading for him to be some kind of madman, turning heel. And then you got Seth Rollins, the guy who's only held the World Heavyweight Championship, the workhorse of WWE, never defended the world title at WrestleMania, despite cashing in at WrestleMania 31 to win the World Heavyweight Championship, having matches with Triple H at Royal Rumble. But he's kind of coming to his own with this new gimmick here. I feel like this new gimmick is the best of his gimmicks. The Messiah was okay. The burn it down guy, cool guy was okay. The Fiend kind of crushed that. But this new Chris Tucker in the Fifth Element dancing around, I think that this is his best gimmick. He's coming to his own here. So, and then you get Drew McIntyre versus Seth Rollins, World Heavyweight Championship match at WrestleMania. That's my predictions. So, once again, Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate, Becky Lynch, Rhea Ripley, and Drew McIntyre all going to win it at Elimination Chamber in Perth, Australia. Man, I love pro wrestling. I'm hyping myself up even thinking about it. It's going to be a fun Saturday morning with all of you guys. I'm going to have my coffee. I'm going to have multiple coffees. I don't even know why I'm saying a coffee. And I'm going to watch Elimination Chamber. Then I'm going to watch a multi-man tag match because it features Okada, and it's going to be Okada's last match in New Japan. This is a huge morning for pro wrestling, and god damn do I love pro wrestling. Fly high. I'm out.